Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayam Vishnupada Paramahamsa Paribrajakachaja Stotara Sata Shri Srimadesi Bhaktivedanta Swami Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Sila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Shri Vrindavan Mathura Dham Ki Jai Navadip Mayapur Dham Ki Jai Jamuna Mai Ki Jai, Ganga Mai Ki Jai, Tulsi Devi Ki Jai, Bhakti Devi Ki Jai, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, verse 69. Yanisha sarvabhutanam tasyam jagarti samyami yasyam jagrati bhutani sanisha pashyato mune Yanisha sarvabhutanam tasyaham jagarti samyami Yasyam jagrati bhutani sanisha pashyato mune Yanisha sarvabhutanam tasyam jagarti samyami Yasyam jagrati bhutani sanisha pashyato mune Ya, what? Nisha, night. Sarva, all, Bhutani, of living entities, Tasyam, in that, Jagarti, wakeful, Samyami, the self-controlled, yasyam in which Jagrati awake, Bhutani all beings, Sa that is, Nisha night, Pashyataha for the introspective, Mune sage. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. What is night for all beings is the time of awakening for the self-controlled, and the time of awakening for all beings is night for the introspective sage. Purport. There are two classes of intelligent men. The one is intelligent in material activities or sense gratification, and the other is introspective and awake to the cultivation of self-realization. Activities of the introspective sage or thoughtful man are night for persons materially absorbed. Materialistic persons remain asleep in such a night due to their ignorance of self-realization. The introspective sage remains alert in the night of the materialistic man. The sage feels transcendental pleasure in the gradual advancement of spiritual culture, whereas the man in materialistic activities, being asleep to self-realization, dreams of varieties of sense pleasure, feeling sometimes happy and sometimes distressed in his sleeping condition. The introspective man is always indifferent to material happiness and distress. He goes on with his self-realization activities undisturbed by material reaction. Yanisha sarvabhutanam tasyam jagarti samyami yasyam jagrati bhutani sanisha pashyato mune. So here we have a very clear description of Krishna about the nature of a devotee and a non-devotee, the nature of a person who is interested in spiritual life and the nature of a person who is interested in material life. The two cannot go together. Either you choose the spiritual path or you choose the material path. There is no in between. And it is like night and day. When it is night for the spiritual advanced man, it is daytime for the sense enjoyer. When it is daytime for the sense enjoyer, for the materialistic man, it is nighttime for the introspective sage. Introspection is a particular capacity given to human beings. No other species of life are capable of having introspection. Only human beings. If you have an assembly and you want to speak about spiritual life, then that assembly is among human beings. You cannot bring all the animals together and speak about spiritual life. Because if you bring all the cats and dogs and other animals in Amsterdam into a room, you'll have chaos. Nobody will be quiet. It will be a huge fight. So animal life is actually material life. The animals, they have no independence. Some animals suffer more or less. That is because of their karma, because of their previous activities which they performed in a previous human life. Or an animal is coming to the animal position and eventually to the human position by a gradual evolution of consciousness which is inbuilt into the material situation by the arrangement of Lord Krishna. So some living entities are coming from the Brahmajyoti, they're coming from a spiritual spark, they're falling into the material world, and they are going up or down according to their activities. Some, by Krishna's arrangement, are within every atom, and they gradually evolve through atomic beings, through aquatics, plants, insects, mammals, to human life. And this arrangement is called samsara, or the cycle of birth and death. And we are all caught in this samsara, and we are suffering because we cannot make the permanent arrangement for which we long. We cannot get eternity. We want to be free from death. Even very, very powerful demigods. At the beginning of the creation, two powerful demigods were born. Jai and Vijay came as Hiranaksha and Hiranyakashipu. And especially Hiranyakashipu, he begged Lord Brahma. He performed tremendous austerities. And what was the purpose of his austerities? To become immortal. And Lord Brahma frankly told him, my dear Hiranyakashipu, in this material world, no one is immortal. I am not immortal. Therefore, I cannot give you immortality. You cannot give someone something which you don't have. Therefore, to get real knowledge, we approach Guru. Tad vidi pranipratena pariprashnena sevaya. Pariprashna. We ask questions and we serve someone who is more advanced in spiritual life than we are. Upadekshanti te jnanam jnanina tattvadarshina. That person can give you jnana. If you go close to him, if you serve him, and if you ask questions, he can give you knowledge because, why can he give you knowledge? Because he's tattva darshina. He is one who has seen darshina, tattva, the truth. Because he has seen the truth, he can give it to you. It is very simple. If you come to me and you say, Ananda, please give me 100,000 euros, I cannot give it to you. I don't have it. It is not in my power to give you 100,000 euros. I can give you 100 euros, but 100,000 I cannot. So similarly, to become free from the bewilderment of material life, to actually know the truth. And what is the truth? The truth is to know why I am suffering in this world. It's no use pretending you don't suffer. It's no use pretending that you're carefree, that life is beautiful, that love is wonderful. It is no use pretending. It is not wonderful, because it is Jamma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi. These four principles of pain are constantly hovering over us. Birth, old age, disease, and death. Therefore Krishna says, Anahankara, become free from this false ego of identifying with the body. Indriya arteshu vairagyam, become detached from satisfying the senses. Become detached from trying to improve your material situation. Indriya arteshu, in the business of satisfying the senses, vairagyam, become free. Anahankara evacha, become free from identifying with this body. I am not this body. I am not Italian, I am not German, I am not man, I am not a woman, I am not a dog or a cat. I am a spirit soul. So anahankara, become free from this false ego. Ahankara means the ego of identifying with the material body. Then Krishna says, Jamma mrityu jara vyadi dukkha dosha anudarshanam. Become free from this illusion and see with proper eyes, see the truth. And what is the truth? The truth is Jamma, Mrityu, birth, death, Jara, Bihadi, old age and disease. These are constant companions of the living entity who is living in the material world. Therefore, the material world, it is an illusion. For one who knows the truth, he doesn't want to participate in this illusion. He wants to be free. It is a movie. It is an act. It is a stage play. He cannot identify it with the stage play because it is not reality. The reality is that I'm a spirit soul. I want to live forever. I want to be full of knowledge. I want to be full of beauty, full of ananda, of happiness. But this Satchit Ananda, this position of eternal knowledge, bliss and happiness cannot be had in the temporary situation of the material world. Just like a citizen, cannot be free in a prison house. A citizen who has become a prisoner, who has become a criminal and is locked up, he cannot be free. He is restricted in his activities. Whereas the citizens who accept the government, who are not criminal, they are able to take advantage of the facilities offered by the society and the government. In the same way, when we accept the facilities offered by Krishna, when we accept Krishna, we can accept these facilities alongside. And those facilities are eternal life. Therefore, Krishna says this material world is not a place for a person who is spiritually advanced. It is night for the spiritually introspective Muni. Sa nisha pashyato mune. The Mune, the thoughtful man, sa nisha pashyato, he sees it as night. Nisha means night, by the way. For example, we know this so-called sadhu called Rajneesh, who became famous in the 70s. Well, Rajneesh means the moon. Raj is the king, and Nisha means the night. The king of the night is the moon. He was anything but the moon, but still. All right, so so Krishna says, Urdhva Moolam Adaha Shakam. There is a banyan tree, and Urdhva Moolam, this is a very strange tree because it has the mula, the roots, Urdhva, going up. Urdhva. Urdhva means going up. This tilak I'm wearing, it is called Urdhva Pundrak, or the tilak going upwards, as against the tilak going across, which the devotees of Lord Shiva wear. The devotees of Krishna or Vishnu, they have Urdhva Pundrak. Urdhva means going up. So Krishna in the 15th chapter, he says, there is a tree, a banyan tree, Ashwata Prayuravyayam. This banyan, this Ashwata, this banyan tree, it is avyayam, it is unending. Because material life, although there is birth and death, it is continuous, it is cyclical. The universe is created, life takes place over trillions and trillions of years, there is development, again it is wound up, and again it is created. And the people, the souls who fall into this universe, who refuse to accept the authority of God, they keep tumbling up and down in this universe. So, Urdhva Moolam, Adaha Shakam, and this tree, its branches, Adaha, they are going down. Ashwatam Pralur Avyam. This is the tree, the banyan tree, which is Avyayam, unending. Chandasi Yasya Pardani. Yasya Pardani, the leaves of this tree, or the Chanda, Chandamsi. Chanda means the Vedic hymns. What are the purpose of the Vedic hymns or the Vedic prayers or the shlokas beginning with Om? Om Tad Vishnu Paramam Param. This is the Purusha Shukta, the very meaning, the very most important prayer to the Purusha, to the Supreme Lord. These Vedic hymns are the key to become free from the illusion of this tree which is upside down. Yastam Veda Savedavid. One who knows this tree, he knows the purpose of the Vedas. He knows what is the purpose of life. And this tree, upside down tree, you can see it on a reflection. If there is a reservoir of water and there is a tree on the water, the tree is upright, but the reflection of the tree, it is upside down. So the material world, it is an upside down reflection of this tree. So Krishna says, you cannot escape this material world unless you surrender to me. Sarva dharmam parityaja mamekam saranam braja. He says, surrender to me. The entanglement of this tree, the entanglement of material life, I will liberate you from that. Ham tvam sarva papebhyo moksha sham. He says, don't be afraid, Masucha. I will liberate you from all the activities which you have performed and have brought you to this point of entanglement. It's like a prisoner surrendering to the king. I apologize, I'm sorry for my criminality. Please release me from prison. The king has the power. Yes, you're free. No more criminal record. So Krishna has the power to release us from this material world. So in the material world, one who is realized, he doesn't take interest in the business of material life. He doesn't want to hear nice stories, whether they're about material subject matters or spiritual subject matters. He doesn't want to hear stories that enforce and support his material entanglement. A person who is Mune, who is introspective, wants to hear the truth. He is happy to hear that this material world is a place of sadness. He is happy to hear that he has become conditioned by the material body. He is happy to hear that there is a way out. He doesn't waste his time in trying to improve his material situation. Material situation has three problems: Adi Atmika, Adi Bhautika, and Adi Daivika Klesha. Klesha means problem. So the first one, Adi Atmika. Adi Atmika means problems by our body and mind. Atma means body, Atma means mind. So Adi Atmika. Adi means fundamental, beginning with, foundation. So Adi Atmika, the body and mind are always giving us problems. For example, at this present moment I'm undergoing a cleansing diet, a fast, so I'm not eating. But the mind is telling me, please eat something. I'm not hungry. It's just the idea. It's because the mind remembers that when I eat, my tongue becomes satisfied, my stomach becomes satisfied, my mind becomes satisfied. But I'm not really hungry because I'm fasting on lemon juice and I'm getting all the nutrients I need. It's just the mind. So Adi Atmika, the mind, and of course the body gives you trouble because it becomes sick, it becomes old, in so many ways. So Adi Atmika Klesh. This Adi Atmika is a constant for anyone who's in the material world. And the second problem is Adi Bhautika. Adi Bhautika means problems given by other living entities. For example, a mosquito may bite you. A virus like COVID-19, it is affecting so many people. So COVID, it is something separate from me, but it is affecting me. It is causing so much pain at the present moment in this world. And Adi Daivika Klesh. Adi Daivika means the problems by superior force. Floods, earthquakes, volcano explosions, wars, famine, things which are almost out of control, and they are given to us because of our karma, but they are being facilitated according to our karma by the demigods, by the personalities in the higher planets who control this material world. So Krishna says, Dukkha Dosha Nudarshanam, look at the problems of material life. Don't become foolish. You cannot get out of this material situation by wishful thinking, by stories. You may forget your material pains and difficulties by becoming distracted with some temporary activity in the material world, like watching a movie or a stage play. But it's a temporary distraction. It doesn't solve the fundamental problem that you're going to die and you're going to take another birth. So spiritual life, Krishna consciousness, Prabhupada made very clear, our business is to approach a Tattvadarshi. In my life, I really only met one Tattvadarshi, and that was Srila Prabhupada. By his behavior, by his activities, by his speaking, by his knowledge, I could clearly understand he was a liberated person, so I go to him to get my knowledge. That's it. That's our business, is to go to a realized person. And in Krishna consciousness, a realized person is Srila Prabhupada, and he has introduced us to a whole line of self-realized persons called the Guru Parampara. Exactly according to how Krishna speaks in the Bhagavad Gita. Evam parampara praptam imam rajasayo viduhu sakaleneya mahata yoga nashta parantapa. My dear Arjun, the knowledge of yoga, of the eternal relationship you have with me, has become corrupted by the influence of time. It has become corrupted by all the nice stories of material life, which you also find in the Vedas. But actually, this knowledge was given to me in disciplic succession. So Prabhupada introduced us to this knowledge. So our duty is to go to him. Understanding Prabhupada means to understand his teachings. For example, even in Christianity, they have the saying that You cannot go to God, Jesus says, unless you come through me. But what does it mean to go through Jesus? It means to follow his instructions. What does it mean to accept me, or to listen to me, or to make me happy? It's to follow what I want you to do. Not to oppose me, but to facilitate me. So our business is to facilitate this knowledge given to us by Prabhupada through his teachings, through his books, and through his lectures. Everything else is more or less a waste of time. So, the example of Sanatana Goswami is very appropriate. He approached a Tattvadarshi, the top Tattvadarshi, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who was an incarnation of Krishna himself, who was capable of giving him the knowledge he was seeking, and he asked very humbly, Ke ami, who am I? Kemo amane jara tapatrai. Why am I suffering these triple miseries of life? He and I don't know this. What is it that he doesn't know? Kemone hita hoy. How to make myself fortunate. Hita means to become fortunate, to progress, to make advancement. Kemone hita hoy. How to become auspicious. This is what we want in life. We don't want to waste our time in material absorption, in family, friends, material activities, and suddenly we become old and we die and we have no time and we have no knowledge. And if we die without knowledge of our spirituality, we take another birth, because it is one or the other. It is either a reflection or it is a reality. If we are absorbed in the reflection, then we take another birth, because the reflection means to remain in the material world. If we understand the reality as a spirit soul, we are guaranteed to finish this material life. Even we may take births, but if we are spiritually advanced, if we are mune, or deep in understanding the need for us to make an end to material life, if we want to understand the need that we have to reconnect with the source of happiness, Krishna, once we understand that need, then we are on the path, we are on the boat that sails across the ocean. Once you're on the boat, you may have a pleasant journey or an unpleasant journey. You may be seasick or not, but as long as you stay on the boat, you get to the other side. Doesn't matter the journey. So, getting on the boat of the Vedas and having a captain like Srila Prabhupada, and having the favorable wind, the boat of the material body, the captain of Srila Prabhupada, and the favorite wind of Vedic knowledge, we can cross over this ocean of material ignorance. We can actually make a permanent solution. So, my humble advice is, don't listen to stories. Listen to Srila Prabhupada. If you hear somebody speak about spiritual life, test it. And the test is very easy. How much is the speaker speaking according to Srila Prabhupada? How much is he quoting Prabhupada's philosophy? How are his ideas compared to Prabhupada's ideas? Then if you know that, you can become free from material life. You can actually go back home, back to God, and in the next life. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. So, we have some of our regular guests, beginning with Atmavidya Prabhu, Major Confusion. Love that name. Hare Krishna and good evening to the assembled Vaishnava devotees. Krishna Premavati Devi, Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranams to all. Anna Maria, Hare Krishna, obeisance to the assembled devotees. Mandy Prior, Hare Krishna. Anna Maria has a question. Could you share, please, the benefits of fasting with lemon and for how long? Thanks. There is really not much spiritual benefit. It is good to keep the body healthy. I need this body to serve Krishna. If I wasn't healthy, I couldn't be speaking to you. I couldn't channel Prabhupada to you, and that would block my spiritual life. It would block my path. So I need to have a good, healthy body. But because of material illusion, I don't always take care of my body very nicely. So I eat too much, or the wrong food, junk food, and I become overweight. So I'm feeling overweight, I'm feeling slowed down, I'm feeling blocked up. So doing a fast, taking some lemon juice, that clears impurities from my body. And after 10 days or so, I will regain strength. I've done it many times before. If you're interested, you can Google lemon cleanse or master cleanse, and there is so much information on the internet. And clears your body, sharpens your mind, so you can practice Krishna consciousness properly. That's the reason why you should do it. If you're going to do it just to lose weight so you can look beautiful, that's not a good reason to do it. The reason to do it is so that you become more alert, more qualified to practice spiritual life. Thank you very much. So, any comments, please continue writing, and we'll see each other again on Friday. Haribol.